You?
Are there any questions?
No.
Next item on the agenda will be our, well, unfinished business. We have an unfinished business in 40 North Pearl Street. Is that really have a public hearing?
Thank you, Chair. This project was discussed at length during last week's finance committee meeting. Involves the renovation of the building at 40 North Pearl, renovating the 3 existing floors. And as part of the project, adding 2 additional floors on top of the building. To bring a total square footage of 35,000 square feet to the project. It is going to be consistent of a mixed use. Margarita apartment units and approximately 14,000 square feet of commercial and or retail space.
We discussed this on a finance committee and there's a positive recommendation. Really hearing.
I'll note too that we will have now for the funding, for review on this project, probably at that same meeting to be a little review, so for that, put that along.
Right, thank you. Any questions?
Nope. I'll make the motion.
Get a second.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is 563 East Mountain Avenue, where we can the consent and subordinate to the. What nerve is on,
Just a little background on this project. This project involved construction, it's currently under construction of 188 residential and market rate apartments throughout 4 buildings on approximately 3.3 acres on the corner of New Scotland and South Allen Street, across from St. Peter's Hospital. For a total project square footage of about 300,000 square feet. Parking, off-street parking for about 250 cars and about 15,000 square feet of retail commercial space. So it's a large project, it's a phased project, and as part of that, the request at hand is for us to sign off on an easement that's going to make the flow of utilities and the flow of traffic and things of that nature between each of the parcels and different buildings and their uses.
And as Bill mentioned, the company has already agreed to the easements as well.
We wouldn't accept it unless the company was also joining that, and that will take place.
Any questions?
I'd like to know for the record, it's also across the street from the Allen Street Pub. So, not just St. Peter's Hospital. I'll make the motion.
Okay, I got a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And the next item on the agenda is the loft at Pine Hills, a resolution approving the 3rd and final extension of amended resolution.
Thank you. I'll also give a little bit of background on this project, and I see the project applicant Patrick Rafferty is here with us today to answer any questions. So in March of 2021, the agency approved sales, mortgage reporting, real property tax abatements through our project evaluation assistance framework for this project. It originally proposed to construct a 5-story mixed-use residential commercial retail building with approximately 7 market rate apartment units and 6,000 square feet of commercial retail space. Due to site conditions, unforeseen obviously at the time, the developer needed to re-examine the scope of the project. And an amended project plan was approved by the planning board and was consists of a slightly smaller project with 83 residential units and about 5,500 square feet of commercial retail space. So given everything that happened during COVID, while this project is working to secure financing and the labor market, a 9-month extension was approved by the board in March of 2022 to give Mr. Rafferty some time to secure financing and continue on the project planning portion. Mr. Rafferty is here with us again today, asking for one final extension to the end of this year, which would be the final extension that the board would be contemplating at this time. Meaning approvals that are in place should this extension go forward with lapse December 31st.
And I would note for any questions or, Patrick, if you've got anything that you'd like to share with the board, that could potentially impact the value, of the real estate on site, we should move into executive session to discuss any of that. So we keep that in mind, the questions that we may have, or Mr. Acker, if you have anything you'd like to share that you feel is, not public.
Well, the letter we already submitted, I think it kind of explains where it's been, but we're still going down that process. Nothing really new to report. Yeah,
The site's cleared.
I think
Yeah.
we did all the demolition work, we've been spinning and waiting optimistically for, bank rates to change, but that really hasn't worked, so we're just been trying to find a partner who can partner investor who might have different options besides banking, because the metrics don't work with the current rates. I'm just not right now. The chance I'll get bought out.
Mhm.
We have two options on the table, weighing them both and going to a purchase and sale agreement right now, which in terms, nothing's been signed at this point.
Well, was there soil conditions that had to, that changed the scope of the project?
That was early on.
Yeah.
The project, we requested out because our soils, you guys probably see a lot here, there's no bedrock in that area, so the depths that we've had to drill and put steel in. Were way too excessive, and we basically had to change the foundation system.
Okay.
That was our first go around, of course, by the time we got up and ready to go. We didn't get locked into a rate before the rates went up. They just pause.
I'll make the motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving into business, agency update.
We don't have this.
Okay.
But, not good.
Good.
We do.
We do. So maybe we do have a project update. I'm just gonna walk us through that.
So one.
Good, yeah.
Good.
So today, brief update on One Columbia Place Realty LLC, right around the corner from here. One Columbia Place Realty was approved by the board in 2015 for a 20-year pilot in sales and mortgage tax exemptions. The project was led by Castle Development and involved the conversion of a vacant 25,000 square foot office building into 21 market rate residential units. Total project cost at time of application was over $2.5 million. The building is a historic structure. It was originally built in 1840. It is fully occupied, and the project representatives report low building turnover with at most 3 units turning over every year. Some tenants have been in place since the renovation finished. Residents tend to be working professionals, kind of across the spread of ages. They reported skewing slightly older than we tend to see in some of the other downtown buildings. And many of the residents walk to work. Project representatives report that residents choose the building for some of its features, including the exposed brick, textured tier, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, location, and additionally, it's parking that it does. Any questions?
Good to see.
Thank you.
All right, other pieces under agency update, we do have a few items of note this morning or afternoon. We did just speak with the city assessor's office, and the assessor had reported back to us that there are significant changes anticipated with the upcoming citywide evaluation. And we were notified of that fact on one of the assessor's letters that we had received on a project that is applying to the agency. That indicated that there may be significant changes in the upcoming year. Terry did walk us through the thought process and timeline for that. At this point, given the concept that reval will significantly change commercial property and valuations and potentially tax rate moving forward. Also knowing that that project will not be complete this calendar year. We are recommending that we take another look at our timeline for the new fixed refresh. So this is really new news today. We will work with federal governance maybe coming up here either July or August to talk through those potential shifts, how that would impact our process. Again, really only that determining what pilot schedules should look like moving forward, given property values and tax assessments and the so it comes with them. So that all is going to need to go into our analysis for how to design the framework update. So more to follow on that, but that just was good news here for today. And it could significantly alter what the structure, and certainly the value of the projected standard deviation pilots would look like going forward. I have a ton more information than that, but happy to take questions preliminarily.
I know I've had some discussions with him over the last few months over the whole process and,
It's consistent. with-
it's consistent, yeah, and we'll see how it all shakes out, but it's gonna be a painful process for some, I think.
Well, and we will talk more about this going forward, but particularly, with the dynamics that we've been talking about as a board on commercial office values and trends in leasing on the multifamily side, the operating expense changes along with the revenue changes that we can anticipate. There's a lot of data there that is going to change significantly with the variable of the projected assessed value and tax rate. So we will collect our thoughts and do some research and come back. We'll also talk with Sarah Woodworth about timeline for the project. Andy's going to dive into some other ideas across the state and really look at our structure compared to the pilots that have been traditionally provided in other agencies to determine really where ours stacks up and are there other options that we can look at for structure that provide a little bit more certainty going forward so that the product stays relevant through revaluation and challenges in particular. So we'll be back with more, again, sort of fresh news on that, but I'm going to throw a little bit of a timeline wrench into what we're doing. I will take this though as really good news of knowing this now, as opposed to proceeding with sort of locking in a new pilot framework, having a revaluation happen if it does have, the significant change that may be anticipated, having to go back to the drawing board and redo the work that we're doing now within the next 12 months. So it's good to have the heads up now, and the assessment is really phenomenal about sharing information, being a resource as we move forward to provide more of them on that. So more to follow. That ties into a conversation that the chair and I have had too. We are in this interim period where we know that we have a framework that is built on good foundation, but because of environmental changes, we are in the process of updating it. That means right now it's probably not doing exactly what it needs to do for projects. And so we've moved toward, the internal analysis, but also third-party analysis for projects that come through to ensure that we're getting it right for the tax jurisdictions and for the development community. That does come with a fee to the project applicants for third-party analysis that's traditionally been borne solely by the applicant as part of their responsibility in application. That typically though would have been because they were asking for a deviation from our standard deviations. At this point, everything's a deviation from our standard deviations because they're not up to date. And so in talking with the chair, that we suggest that looking at that fee structure potentially share in that fee burden for the third party analysis. About that.
Yeah, just knowing that everybody is going through the third party now, it is an extra cost, just as a sign of good faith on the organization's part that we are working through this. We understand it's going to be longer than normal, offering a cost share to cover the cost of that third party analysis.
I think there's value to that, I mean, yeah, with everything being in flux, a little bit, especially with this heading, like, I think there's value to that.
Yeah, no, we don't want to rush through with anything, we don't have to really assess them, we don't have to do it again. in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah, do it once.
Once is enough.
Yeah,
So I think I had originally tossed out a 50-50 cost share, I don't know if there's any other proposal or discussion or.
Seems reasonable to me, I guess.
yeah,
Do you need a full motion for that?
Yeah.
Get a motion,
So moved.
second,
second,
all in favor?
50-50 it is.
And then, I have two more pieces of information to the update. We're gonna keep the personnel, update to the end of the meeting. But in terms of the legislative update, now the session has officially,
We think.
we think, barring anything crazy, we, just a couple of notes, we have been, really continuing to stay up to date, with EDC, that membership continues to pay off in terms of, being able to really have a solid understanding of what's happening statewide, particularly at the legislature. And being able to go back and forth and really provide insight from this agency, on, the pieces moving forward. So three quick bills of note. The including pilots in the 2% tax cap that did pass. We reported on that before, so that was a success. Another success was being able to work with the sponsoring senators and assembly people who were looking at the amendment to product language in their bill, along with considering providing pilots to projects that were considered in development. That's something that we expect will come back around for next year, but has been held to ensure that that language is standing better and is correct. And then we also did see the conflicts of interest bill was in 520A. That did pass, that had passed in the previous session as well, but was vetoed. We expect that that may be vetoed again. Should not have direct and dramatic impact here, although depending on how you read the language, we're going to do some additional analysis on that. We'll see if it gets or not. First or not. So those three are probably the most relevant. To provide additional insight on what is in the legislative session, and be able to provide you with EDC contact information.
Any other items you would like to discuss?
That we can find update.
Sorry, missed that out.
That's okay. Just a few things. Just wanted to let the board know that Home Leasing Council had reached out to our council about a minor amendment to the regulatory agreement that the project has with Homes and Community Renewal at the state. And the determination in the statement of council was that this is actually covered under the district, and so wanted to let the board know. We did receive a positive response from the Office of State Comptroller regarding our response to their annual questions about our parish report. We're waiting to have the report open so that we can get the plans that need to be made in the parish report, and we'll look forward to closing that out. In your materials, there's a letter from 1211 Western Avenue. So the background, we had requested just a monthly communication with the project beneficiary. And after you were meeting meetings that they had, we were sent documentation on. I will say that they've been very responsive every month, providing this letter. So this is just doing updates for 1211 Western.
Is there ongoing work there right now? Or is it still halted?
So it says that they started to mobilize
Yeah.
with the new contractors. So
I haven't seen any activity there really. Yeah, okay.
and it sounds like they're still working through some insurance things and then trying to close out with building. And then the last thing is just going to turn it over to Andy to give a summary of the comptroller's report on the highway safety.
Before we do that, while we're at 1211, just a similar news, we have requested from 40 Hudson, the CMG project, a project update. from them as well. They did indicate that they have hired additional property management to bring their numbers back up to where they have committed. Also to take care of many of the issues that we've all seen and been concerned about in the news over the past several months about conditions that people are living in. Site and so they've been back to us twice with news about that. We have had a complaint come in from a concerned constituent about that as well, and following back with them and provided with sending correspondence to confirm the news that they do have new property management on site that we're unaware of the concern, that they are proactively handling the situation.
Also, as part of your materials packet, you should see a one-page press release. That we put together. We also state comptrollers. Maybe a progress report of 2021. The two main takeaways are first that the city of Albany is so IDAs across the state. However, the second is just a trend that we're seeing. So prior to 2012, IDAs had the ability to issue tax exempt bonds. Post 2012, that was then the realm of CRCs. So what we are starting to see are either some of those existing large bond issuances either refinance and transition over to the CRC or pay down. So we are seeing, those jobs numbers affected by that in conjunction with the city and this agency's strategic approach to assist weekend commercial housing, which, while it has a direct economic development impact, doesn't typically create direct jobs. So just trying to get.
Well, finally.
Yeah.
were you gonna- So I just want to announce officially at the table, all of you are aware already that this is going to be Tom's last meeting with us here at the IDA and PRC. He's taken an exciting new opportunity for his career and for everyone, frankly. And we're very sad to see him go, but thrilled for all the value that he's brought over the past 3 years. And certainly the way that this organization has been able to step up and jump up because of his officially on the record.
It's been a pleasure serving this board for the last 3 years. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Tom.
Yeah.
You're lucky chaining you to your desk is apparently unconstitutional.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wanted to put it on the official IDA record.
I understand.
and
We have to say nice things about him in the next meeting too.
We can put it on recording.
Nice thing.
So,
Nice.
okay, any other items to discuss?
Motion to adjourn.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Really, I was prepared to be dealing with Marcus Smart's departure today.